Hi there, welcome to my hobby bench. My name is Ken, and this is Terminator Tuesday. Alright, so now we're going to move on to issue 29 here. And in issue 29, a lot of these parts are going to look similar from last week's episode. And it's because we're now doing the left shoulder as opposed to the right shoulder, which was last week. So again, common pieces. So we're going to start off here. We'll remove this part here and put it together with a little bit of CA glue, just like we did last week. So the good thing is we know that we don't need to worry about chroming up any of these parts from anything that had the chrome removed due to being cut away from the sprue. But however, I am still going to check my fitment. Looking good. I do want to sand off this little top part here, just so it fits a little better there. Alright, so I'll take a little bit of my CA glue here. And there we have it, just like that. Alright, now we're going to remove the remainder of our parts from the sprue. And I'm going to lay them out the same way Todd did. So, sorry for not mentioning this sooner. I am following the instructions from Todd, also known as Marvel Phoenix, over on the Hobby Time Modeler website. And Todd puts out build instructions online on his various websites. The one I'm following is the My Terminator T800 build by Todd. So he goes through and explains the best way to do this, kind of figures out any of the problems or issues the kit may have had for building, or something maybe should be done later as opposed to right off the bat. There we have it. I'm just going to come along here and make sure none of these are sticking out too proud and causing a slight fitment issue later on. Okay, with the parts cleaned up now, we're going to move on. We're going to take our shoulder mechanism here, and you can see there is this rounded end here, which was, I think, the last piece we put in last time. This time it's going to be the first, or sorry, it's going to be my reference point here. It'll be like the second piece that goes in. First piece will still be this piece we had to glue together. So again, we're going to take our part and just slide it into place there, like that. And then we can come next to our rounded piece, and again, CA glue it, like last time. There we go. That's the next part in, CA glued in. Carrying on, we have this next part here. Goes into place there. Followed by this next one here, this dual-sided one. And again, it should only go in one way. I'll show you here like that. And whereas if I try to go in, oops, the other way, I do believe it shouldn't fit. Yeah, it won't fit in if you're going in the wrong way. So, just orientate it as the part allows, and then we come up to our final part here, and it just goes into place like that. There we have it. All right, we'll move on here. Now, reading Todd's site, you can glue in these extra ones here if you feel you need to. I feel that it went well last time. I'm not going to worry about it. But we'll take our spring here now. We'll put that into place. And then we're going to take our plate here. And if we orientate it like this, I'm just double checking here. We have our... there's our rounded piece here that has to go over top that. So we will put that in place and push it down in, just like that. There we go. All right, now holding this into place here, I'm just going to put my screwdriver or screw into a little 3-in-1 oil, and I'm going to insert the screws. Again, they give you 4, but you only need 3. There's the first one. I am using the PH00, like I said. And there was only the one type of screw in this pack. So here we go. We're moving through this stage, or this issue, really quickly. I'll make sure these are all nicely snugged down. Just like that. There we go. There we go. All in place, and then we have our part, which we can push in and rotate as desired. So that stage went fairly quickly. That was issue 29. Let's move on to issue 30. All right, so here we are with issue 30. Again, parts looking similar to last week's episode. And as you can see here, we have our shoulder part, they call, left shoulder accessory, not on a sprue this time, like last week's was on a sprue. They gave us 3 3x8mm screws. We only need 2, so I put one away already. So let's begin our assembly. All right, to begin our assembly here, we have this area here, this recessed area, which is where this part is going to go like last week. The 2 pins, we need to apply some CA glue. So we'll do that here. Now this one, again, it does have a trim off point, even though we didn't cut it off a sprue. It was done at the factory. But we can come in there afterwards with a little bit of our Molotov chrome and touch that up. So there we go. So both here, you can see there's a paint piece missing, and as well on this bolt piece here. So I'm going to get some Molotov chrome and cover that up. Alright, so just taking the bottom of a paint pot for myself and just applying a little of the chrome refill here. Just a drop. You don't need much. In fact, I won't even use that much. But we'll take our little disposable brush here and just dab it over top to cover that. And there as well. You can look around, see if anything else needs it, but that looks good. So that's it. So let's move on. Alright, so moving on here, we have our shoulder piece here, our shoulder part. So you can see we have the 2 screw holes that are going to come in from the inside. And we have a pin, and they coincide with these 2 screw holes and a pin. Now again, this is all being metal, so I'm going to be using my 3-in-1 oil. So I'll take one of my screws here. Get a little 3-in-1 oil on there. I'll bring it through. Just like that. Line this up this way so that the pin matches with the pinhole. So my screw was having an issue going in at first, so I gave it a bit of a turn backwards to make sure it was not cross-threading. So just a little tip to keep that in mind. And there we go with our second screw. Just like that. Making sure the first one is still tight. There we go. And just like that, that is it for issue 30. Alright, so moving on, here's our parts for issue 31. We have our shoulder blade. We have our 2 covers for it, one with the pin, one without. We have our left shoulder accessory. We have our little sleeve here. We have our plastic liner, and we have our shoulder joint. So that's our parts here. So we'll get started. All right, so moving into issue 31 here, we have the dreaded shoulder blade mechanism we're going to be putting on. So we have our sleeve first. Todd talks about in this issue how at this point he still hadn't learned about the using a drop of dish detergent, which apparently makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to take that advice from Todd. Thank you very much, Todd. And I'm going to use a little bit of dish detergent here just to get a little drop in there. All right, so here we go. Taking some dish detergent. I'm sure I'll make a mess. Just going to try and make sure that I can get as much in here as I can to make this easier. But I will also put some on that pin when the time comes. So we're going to take this now, we're going to put it in this position here. Now it should go in all the way, just like that, and it bottoms out on this end here, where the hole is smaller. Next, we're going to take our shoulder blade piece, and we're going to put it into place. So when we have it like this, our long piece of the shoulder blade goes down, like that. Next, we're going to take our pin piece here, and I am going to put some soap on that as well. Because anything that can make my job easier when it comes to this, the better. So, we will give this a shot and see how it compares to last week. So far, not good. All right, let's give it a shot. Well, so far it's easier. Okay, so it easily went to this point here where it's ready to protrude out the other side, so we got to make sure that's lined up, and this part here is lined up. Oh, that is 1,000 times better. So you can see just like that. All right, thanks to Todd and his awesome tip there. We got that pin piece in really easy. Now we just have to go ahead and put in this other end. So here we have two pinholes, and we have 2 pins on this side. So we're just going to again take some CA glue and just get them in place there for the pins. Maybe a little bit around the lip, so this part doesn't come out. And there we have it. All right, moving along here, we're going to be putting this piece in here. Last week it was on a sprue. We had to trim it off. I'm going to rotate this so it just matches up here, just so it's the same as what's in Todd's pictures he takes. He takes great pictures. He does a very awesome job at his photography. So I'm going to put a little CA glue in the hole here. Now there is a little high keyed point in there. And that's going to line up with the little spot right on here. You can see the little part comes out. So I'm going to take a little CA glue there and just put it on that part. Come along. And there we have it. So it can wiggle a little bit in that area, but it can't really leave that area. And I'm going to orientate it so it's looking the best, I think, for 90 degrees. Just like that. Now there is a little bit of chrome missing here. I did touch it up on the other one, so I might as well do it here on this one as well. Probably won't need it, but better safe than sorry. There we have it. All right, our final step for stage 31 is to assemble the shoulder joint here with its piece. We're not going to be doing anything with it in this issue. So we'll just take a little CA glue and attach it. Just like we have so many other times. There we go. All right, so there's our parts from issue 31 completed. Let's move on to issue 32. All right, so here we are with the parts we received for issue 32. This will be moving back to the right arm. We have our right shoulder end piece. We have our right shoulder joint shaft. We have the cap. We have our insert. And then we have several sets of screws. We have some 3 by 10 millimeter and a 3 by 6 millimeter. So we only need one of this, the 3 by 10, and we only need 2 of the 3 by 6. So let's get to work. All right, so we're going to start off with these 2 points here, and we're going to put our little disc in place. So again, as per usual with these parts, we are gluing them in. So we'll just apply a little CA around the pins and the main body, all on the back side. Just like that. And it should go in flush, like that. Alright, so next we're going to take our right shoulder piece from last week's episode here, and we're going to be attaching this part we just created. And if you take a note, there is our 2 screw holes, as well as a tab here, and that's going to sync up with these parts, screw holes, and a place for that tab point, just like that. Now, because this is all metal, I'm going to be using my 3-in-1 oil. And I'll be using my two 3x6mm screws. There's one. And here goes the second one. There we go. Just like that. All right, now we're going to take our part, our right shoulder joint part we created in the last issue, and we're going to take this part from this issue, and you can see there are the flat sides on across from each other, which have to line up with these two parts here and here where it's flat. Just like that. All right, now taking that part, and we're going to use our right arm here. Now you can see on the right arm we have these four tabs here in this circle. Now if you look closely here, there are 4 points where that's going to match up. So we have to make sure that that lines up with each other. There we go. So that should be there, just like that. So next we flip the arm over, and we have the hole on this side now. Now I am holding in the one we just put in place, because it is prone to falling out because it's not tightly fitted or anything. So again, you can see we have our flat points here and here. And now we're going to take our pin, and it has 2 flat points on either side from each other that need to be inserted just like that. Finally, we'll flip this all over, now holding the other pinned part in place. We'll take our final screw here, and we will get some 3-in-1 oil on that. Now, sorry, this is not a screw, this is an Allen screw. So we'll actually have to take our 2mm Allen key. Now we could use the Allen key that came in the last issue, but I do prefer these screwdriver ones. And it is going into metal, so I am using a little 3-in-1 oil. I'll put it in just like that. This is a 2mm Allen screwdriver. There we go. Nice and tight in place, just like that. Alright, so that's it for issue 32. You can see now our arm is more complete and ready to go. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching. You guys take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.